Manchester City beat Newcastle 2-1, and surely they are now installed as favourites for this title. Yes, technically Arsenal can re-establish that tomorrow, but the pressure is definitely all on Arsenal. It's a bad week for them. Look, I watched that game, especially the last half an hour. Newcastle produced nothing. Man City with the know-how to battle it away. They probably could have scored more, but defensively, very, very good from Manchester City. And it's starting to look a little bit ominous. It's starting to look a little bit dull.
So after watching Manchester City grind out that 2-1 win over Newcastle, one thing is clear. The momentum has shifted. Let's be honest. When you watch that last half an hour, Newcastle offered nothing. Absolutely nothing. And that's what champions do. They suffocate games. They control tempo. They don't panic. Even when Erling Haaland doesn't score, the work rate, the discipline, the defensive structure, it's elite. Now here's the real debate.
Daunting. And if I said to you, your life depends on it, tell me who's going to win the league, you're going to go with Man City, aren't you? You are, because Man City have won it before. They've been down this road before.
If your life depended on picking the Premier League winner right now, you're probably saying Manchester City. And that's not disrespect to Arsenal. That's experience talking. This is a team managed by Pep Guardiola. They've been here before. They've handled title pressure. They know how to go up a gear in February, March, April. This is their territory. And look at the fixtures. City have a smoother run in the next few weeks. Arsenal, every game now feels like a final. The pressure is on them.
Pep Guardiola's been down this road before. They've got easier fixtures for the next month. By the time Chelsea play Man City at the Stamford Bridge and Arsenal come to the Etihad.
Especially after a tough week. One slip, and suddenly when they go to the Etihad, the title race might already be slipping out of their hands. But here's where I add my take. Yes, City look ominous. Yes, they look like favorites. But being favorites in February doesn't win you the league. Arsenal still control their response. If they react strongly, this race is alive. If they wobble, City will punish them ruthlessly.
You feel that if things go really bad for Arsenal, the title might be over already. So I think Man City have established themselves as marginal favourites or big favourites tonight because...
And the scary part? Nobody was even talking about another treble a few months ago. Now it's realistic. That's the machine mentality of Manchester City. But here on Goal Line Debate, we ask the real question. Is this dominance greatness, or is it becoming inevitability? Because if City go on another run, this won't just be another title. This will be legacy defining. And that's why the pressure right now? It's completely on Arsenal. Let me know, are City already champions in your eyes? Or is this race far from over? Fire soccer ball.
What I would say is I don't think this is Man City's best team by a very long way. If you think back through the Pep Guardiola years, I think he's had much better players and much better teams. But this Premier League season...
Now here's where this title race gets really interesting. Yes, Manchester City look like they've got that champion aura again. But let's flip it. If Arsenal beat Spurs and Chelsea in their next two games, the entire narrative changes. Confidence in football is everything. Two big wins, and suddenly that trip to the Etihad feels like a showdown, not a surrender.
It's weird. And I think one of those Man City teams from the past would be out of sight. They'd be on 70 points by now. So this Man City team may...
But I agree with one key point. This is not Pep Guardiola's best Manchester City side. When you think back to some of those peak teams under Pep Guardiola, they were ruthless, relentless. By now, they'd be miles clear at the top. This season has been strange, inconsistent across the league. And maybe that's why this version of City, even if not the strongest historically, might still be good enough.
Well be good enough to win this league, even though I don't think it's on a par with some of his previous teams. Because it's all on Arsenal now. It's like, are you in a title race or are you going to...
Because the pressure? It's all on Arsenal. 10 points from 21 is not title-winning form. That's wobble territory. That's where champions smell blood. And look at the mentality inside this City squad. You've got serial winners like Erling Haaland, Rodri, Ruben Dias, and Bernardo Silva, players who've done it before.
Collapse in front of us, and 10 points from 21 suggests that they might collapse. Whereas Manchester City look to be... And they've got a great combination at Man City.
Then you mix that with hunger, new energy, new signings desperate to prove themselves. That combination, that's dangerous. And let's kill this underdog narrative right now. Manchester City are not underdogs. Not with their spending.
As well, they're playing good football. They've got a manager that could be going in this summer, but is, very motivated. They've got players like Erling Haaland and Rodri and Diaz who've won.
Not with their January window. While others hesitated, City acted. They strengthened key areas. They added depth. They added momentum. That's what elite clubs do when a title race tightens. They push harder. The January window can define seasons. And City treated it like a weapon.
Won it before, and Bernardo Silva and Phil Foden. And then you've got players like Donnarumma and Cherki and Semenyo and Gahey who are desperate to win it.
So now the question isn't whether City are favorites. It's whether Arsenal can handle being hunted. Because momentum is with Manchester City. And when City get momentum, history tells us how that usually ends. Fire soccer ball 0-1-5-0-5.
And they turned up at Old Trafford and they were awful. Any Man City fan would admit that. They were bloody awful. We could have beat them 9-0. They didn't have their back four. They had...
This is where experience separates contenders from champions. A few weeks ago, when Manchester City went to Old Trafford, they were poor. Let's be honest, they were nowhere near their level. Injuries, no settled back four, new signings not integrated yet. At that moment, nobody was calling them title winners.
None of their back four, and Gahey hadn't signed. But they were awful. If you'd said to me Man City were going to win the league at that point, I'd have said, you're having a laugh. They're going to get battered. But they've got...
But this is what elite teams understand. A season is 38 games. It's not about one bad performance. It's not about losing a derby. It's about how you respond. And under Pep Guardiola, Manchester City always respond.
Got their players back. They brought some players in. And now they look amazing. And this is what United fans don't really seem to get. You have these mini battles where you win, but you never...
They get players back. They reinforce in January. They reset. And suddenly the same team that looked shaky now looks inevitable. That's the biggest lesson here. You can win small battles during a season, a big result, a rival slipping up, but titles are won over consistency, over depth, over mentality. City know you can afford a bad night. What you can't afford is a bad month.
Win the war. And it's a 38-game season. And Man City, more than anybody, understand that you can lose games. You can lose games, but it's how many games.
And right now, Arsenal are dangerously close to having a bad month. But let's be clear, it's not over. Not yet. If Arsenal takes 6 points from Spurs and Chelsea, everything changes.
You lose over 38 games. You can lose a game badly and be terrible and have the piss taken out of you like Man United did. But it's only one game. If around that, you get back on track and you start...
They must go to the Etihad with that cushion. They must arrive there with belief, not fear. Because if they drop points before that, I don't see City slipping. I don't see them giving gifts. City have strengthened at the right time. They've used January properly.
Winning, that's how you win titles. And they've used that January transfer window so well. And they're going to be hard to budge. I don't think...
In modern football, with fixture congestion and tired squads, that window can define your season. And City treated it like a title-deciding moment. So this isn't City's title yet. But it feels like Arsenal's moment of truth. Respond now, or watch the machine take over. And that's the real debate. Soccer ball fire.
That allows his left back to score a lot of goals. I know technically Nico Riley wasn't really a left back today, of course, but what I'm saying is...
This is the scary part about Manchester City. Under Pep Guardiola, it's never about, let's see what happens. It's calculated. It's strategic. In Pep's mind right now, it's simple. Win every game until May. Build relentless pressure. Force Arsenal to blink first.
He has a way of... He has a way of finding goals from players that you wouldn't expect goals to come from. I mean, obviously...
That's how City operate. They don't chase, they suffocate. And what makes it even more dangerous? Goals are coming from everywhere. It wasn't even Erling Haaland deciding this game. It was players you don't traditionally expect. Nico O'Reilly stepping up. Defenders like Josko Gvardiol popping up with huge goals in crucial moments. How many times have we seen this?
Altnori was at left back, but I see Nico O'Reilly as a left back because I think that's where he should play for England. But what I'm saying is he's not an orthodox goal scorer, is he? But is
There's something about Pep's system, especially how he uses his left side, that feels like a cheat code. Teams focus on Haaland. They track the obvious threats. And then suddenly, the unexpected name is on the score sheet.
got the 2 goals today. Vardiel's done it from left back and from centre back. And it happens time and time again. It's almost like Pep knows that teams are going to...
That's tactical evolution. That's elite coaching. But let's talk about the bigger picture. Newcastle? They're drifting. 9 points off 5th. Players like Sandro Tonali are too talented to be fighting for scraps. They need Europe. They need momentum. Otherwise, keeping top-level players becomes very difficult.
focus on Haaland and Bernardo Silva and Semenyo. So he focuses on a player that might be left alone a little bit, and those players pop up with goals.
Meanwhile, City are building momentum at exactly the right time. So here's where we stand on goal line debate. It's not over. Arsenal still have control of their destiny. The North London derby is massive. Chelsea is massive. 6 points changes everything.
But yeah, look, I think for Newcastle, it's a hard sell for them now, isn't it? Man City are going for a title, could be going for a Champions League.
But if Arsenal stumble again, Pep's machine won't hesitate. City don't need to be perfect from August. They just need to be perfect now. And history tells us, this is the part of the season where they usually are. So I'm asking you, are we watching another title charge unfold, or does Arsenal have one final statement to make? This race just entered its defining chapter. Fire soccer ball.